So Bitcoin has broken above the range high. Let's discuss what this means for my overall thought process, potential setups I may be looking for, and overall price targets for those setups. Last week, as you all know, I was bearish. I caught an ETH short. The ETH short did very well. It hit 2 take profits, and then I manually closed during the bounce on Friday. So I'm very happy with how that went. But now with Bitcoin above the range high, this makes things very interesting. Firstly, I think it's worth pointing out the higher time frame point of view. For the Bitcoin daily chart, you literally need one level for your support line, one horizontal. That's all you need. That's at 100.7K. Price has not closed below this level now in over 185 days. We have not gotten a daily close below this level. Buyers continue to step in, and this is the origin of a significant move to the upside on many different occasions. Now, recently with the price action, there were some times when people were bear posting when price was below here. So they did not wait for the daily close. They were stuck on lower time frames, stalking the lower time frames, getting lost in the sauce on lower time frames, and the daily ended up closing above the all-important 100.7K level. So now what that means is that we have now consolidated for several days above the important daily level. We have not closed any dailies below. So basic trading 101 is if price is unable to break a level in any significant way, it makes sense to see price move in the opposite direction, right? That's very basic. There's nothing too significant about that. It means that there's no more strength to break whatever level it is. Now, when I break it down to lower time frames to my trading range, we can see in more detail what's going on within all of those daily candles, right? And as we can see, it checks out with my entire trading range. So now that price is above the range high, I need to be prepared for long scenarios. Now, I want to make it very, very clear. This week, I am looking to long. I am looking for dips to buy. I absolutely cannot ignore that daily chart. We are at a significant daily support level. Price was unable to fall below that support level. So in that case, I need to enter into a long position, and that's what I plan on doing this week. So let's discuss some scenarios I'm looking for. The first setup and the most classic setup for a range break is going to be looking to take a position on a retest of the range high. So for this specific situation, we have an H1 consolidation period and we have the range high. The range high conveniently is also based on an H1 consolidation period and an H1 breakdown point. So we have some solid confluence at this level. So the idea would be to look for a pullback into the range high, wherever that could be from. Look to enter into a long position. Really, the invalidation point for a setup like this is just going to be an H1 close below the red box. So the H1 close below 103.7K would be the invalidation point, and take profit 1 would be somewhere up here, the consolidation period before the move down. Now, I discussed this region in the last video, so I won't talk about it too much, but it will be coming into play. It already has come into play with the current price action. So it would make sense to see a bit of a pullback from here. It would not be of concern whatsoever if we do pull back from here. So that could be the price action I'm looking for this long trigger. It's worth noting that really all of these setups depend on the current range not being reclaimed. So what I mean by that is I really do not want to see price fully retrace and get some closes below the red box. If that does happen, that would mean, unfortunately, it's a failed breakout and I need to look for short positions. Now, of course, when I say that, I need to think of the higher time frame picture and the daily chart that I discussed a few minutes ago, right? I need to keep that in the back of my mind and continue to remember that and not get too lost in the sauce of the low time frames. The main area of interest I'll have this week for a price target for a long side is going to be 110.5K. The reason for this is it's the origin of the move down on the H1. Okay, so typically for a level like that, when a significant move happened after setting the high, it makes sense to see price stall around that level. So we're trying to really decide which way we're going to go. Are we going to continue higher? Are we going to stall, take a breath, pull back a little bit, maybe fully retrace everything? Who knows? But it's going to be a significant level that I'll be keeping my eye on for a take profit level for any long position that I may have this week. Now, let's say, for example, the setup of a retest of the range high just never happens. Or let's say it happens, you're asleep, you're AFK, whatever it may be. The pattern that you're looking for this entire move up is going to be very simple. So the setup looks very basic, but this is what it is. It's an H1 consolidation period. It's price breaking from that H1 consolidation period. What you want to do is buy as closely to the top of the H1 consolidation period as possible. Then what you'll do is set your invalidation point below the low of the consolidation period and your take profit one at either the origin of an H1 breakdown or another H1 consolidation period somewhere above price, obviously. So that's the most basic setup that you can look for and easily trade on the H1 time frame following a continuation pattern. Now I go into a lot more detail through this entire pattern within a different video on my channel, so definitely check that video out. It's a very, very easy pattern to learn. You'll see them absolutely everywhere, and it's one that you could look for this upcoming trading week. Also, it's worth noting we have other catalysts this week with the government shutdown potentially coming to an end. At the time of recording, it seems like they reached a deal, but it's not quite official yet. So that would be a nice catalyst as well. So it's worth being aware of that headline looming. But overall, like I said, I'm bullish this week. I'm looking to long dips. I'm looking to use this range high as the foundation of trading arguments for this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other further questions, comments, or anything like that, please feel free to ask. Thank you.